Hello there, welcome back to Professor Silly Gaming's Fallout 4 Zombie Apocalypse Settlement Builds. Chapter whatever it says on the screen. I don't know. I'll check. We're going to be looking at Sunshine Tidings Co-Op today. Now, from the last video, I know it's been a little bit, had a lot of gaming to do actually. I was getting ready to infiltrate the Institute. Well, that went all very well. And the Institute has put me in charge. They've got their nuclear reactor online, so they are quite happy. They're focused on synth production, not weapon production. The Brotherhood of Steel had me help rebuild Liberty Prime, but we never launched it. And they are okay with the railroad being in existence and not destroying the Institute. They're not thrilled about synths, but, well, we get what we can. And, well, the railroad hates me, but I don't really give a shit about them. And, let's see, the Minutemen, I helped with the castle to set up artillery. So, we're in a really good position as far as handling zombie hordes. Now, when I first arrived here at Sunshine Tidings Co-Op to make a settlement for the Minutemen, I arrived at night during a rad storm and the place was crawling with zombies. Let's take a look at a little bit of how that went. Right, so that went well. Now, Sunshine Tidings Co-op is basically a farm, and I'm building for the Minutemen, and there's a bunch of buildings that pre-exist and can't be scrapped. So here's what I was envisioning. I was thinking farmer's market, sort of camping, hippy-dippy sort of getaway. Now, at the same time, we also have Institute technology and Brotherhood of Steel support. So that means that I can start moving away from some of the scrappy elements, which behind me you can see no longer am I using junk fence, I'm now using full-on concrete fence. So let's take a look at what I did here. Now, I was still kind of figuring it out on this build on how to adjust the height of each individual section of the wall to follow the lay of the land. There's a lot of areas where the wall is relatively flat. You'll see in subsequent builds I've already been building the wall at Abernathy Farm, and I've gotten even more proficient at getting the wall to really follow the height of the land around it. I also have these occasional turret towers with high-powered laser turrets. I'm using them as towers instead of like turret stands because I want them to be able to shoot out at anything that's approaching the wall, but also I want them to be able to turn around and shoot inside. The settlers have, how shall I say, really terrible aim. Worse aim than me, and my aim is not great, as you have seen. So by having the turrets be able to turn around, it makes sure that anything that gets in, whether it be zombies that happen to sneak in the front gate, or rad scorpions that just come up through the ground, get taken care of. Sounds like there's something happening. I think we can ignore it. So the turret stands also have lights. So this is what it looks like inside. We've got all the cabins, we got the main building there, we got the building there as well that I turned into a restaurant. Let's start with energy. So we have the Institute, and for here I thought it'd be nice to have the Institute providing plenty of power for everybody. So I built this sort of modern concrete building with the flags on it, of course. Everything in here is relatively new, as much as possible, because they're bringing stuff up from underground. Now I don't have access to vault technology yet, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm using a fusion generator, but we also have something to take care of radiation, some nice artwork, chairs. Now we also have the Brotherhood of Steel represented here, providing a little bit of security. So this is their building. They like to have their own place. They're not sharing. This was a really fun challenge to build, this building, because it's on such different levels of ground, and it's next to these towers that don't like things clipping into them. So the sleeping quarters is up here. I gave them some storage up here. They've got their Brotherhood of Steel branded bedspread. We got a workstation here with power armor station. Looks like all the tools are sitting out. They apparently have hidden all of their medical supplies, is what it is. So yeah, they just have everything just kind of sitting out. Place to sit down.
If you run into any sense, shoot to kill. We don't take prisoners.
See, this is why people don't like you, man. You just can't be like, shoot to kill. Anyway. Now this is a Minutemen base, and we have artillery, so I decided to put that over here kind of on this grassy hill. So this is where they can fire their shells at whatever I throw a smoke grenade at, providing, of course, more protection. I think we have something like 130 defense between the turrets, the Brotherhood of Steel, and this. Yeah, we got quite a bit.
Hey, General.
Hey.
Just looking to trade a little.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is a farm, and so we've got 3 growing areas. We've got potatoes, we've got mut fruit, and then over here we have corn as well. Basically, the areas that already look like they had land tilled for growing, I just turned into growing areas. We've got 7 farmers total working all of the crops. Now, as far as the farmers market that's in this building, getting that sales sign on the door was a bit of a challenge. So we have our farmers market. We have our potatoes. We've got our mut fruit, fresh and juicy. Then we have our corn over here. The guy that sells corn tends to stay away. Oh, hey, drop ceiling. This is something new I started doing on this build. So the ceiling fans make noise when they're attached to ceilings that aren't flat. This is a little station for Minutemen recruitment. That switch leads up to that recruitment beacon up there, which Preston insisted on having. We have our sign, join the Minutemen. I did add a few robots at the end. There's, I think, four robots if you include Mr. Tidy. Oh, and here's the cat. Has their own rug. Some Minutemen crates where they got their armor and weapons from the Boston airport. And we have our smoking station out here on the patio. So yeah, the drop ceiling is something I was really happy about, using those warehouse floors to create a flat ceiling for the ceiling fans. I moved the workshop over here. We have our Mr. Tidy, as well as a chem station. Some junk there. Now these cabins, they all have things in common, but they're all different. Oh, I have outhouses between each of the cabins as well. So we have lights outside. We have a drop ceiling with a ceiling fan, of course. We've got a sink in each of the cabins. We have a fireplace, and then 2 bunk beds, and then some kind of dresser to put clothing in. As far as everything else, I tried to use whatever was already here. I tried not to scrap things, but just repurpose furniture for each of the places. And then the decoration is slightly different for each one. Each one has a medicine box as well. A lot of them have desks, but not all of them. This one has a sink and a cabinet. Go up to the next one. We'll skip this one here because that's the one that's closed off from this side of the wall. So the next cabin is all the way up here. Again, I didn't scrap everything. Alright, so this one also has some food storage. This one already had the fireplace in here, so it's laid out differently than the other cabins, having a couple of smaller dressers rather than one big dresser. Oh, this one also, the staircase was behind a rock next to the wall, so I built an extra staircase to get in there. All the outhouses are identical. In this one, I've got a footlocker table that was already in here that I just moved. This one has a lot of leaves. All right. And then this is the last one. All right, so we got a table with some booze. This one, instead of having a dresser, has a cabinet, but it's same idea. The wheelchair was already in here. Again, I just didn't scrap it, kept it. Oh, these cabins looked drafty as hell, so I put pictures in each of the open windows so that it would look a little bit cozier, especially with it still being January in the game, snow. Even with the fireplace, just looked chilly. This is an extra little living space I built on the back of the restaurant. And then it has its own little bathroom outhouse back here that's private. All right, so let's take a look at the restaurant. Right, so the whole thing is this like wood, this like a steel shack, and it looks really crappy on the inside. So I placed these panels in here so that it would look more inviting. We've got a restaurant in Colorado called Gunther Tootie's, so I kind of used that as inspiration as far as all of the signs on the walls. So well-stocked kitchen. Again, they're terrible about keeping these refrigerators closed, so I'll just close it for them. Mixing station, cleaning supplies, got the drop ceiling just along the middle. And then again, all the signs and whatnot, I just kind of has a nice feel. The picnic benches that were inside, I moved out here onto this patio for outdoor seating. And then again, more signs. Again, that sort of retro, look. Oh, I was going to build a little like to-go window here, but then when I put the paneling on the inside, that changed my mind. I had to refilm the bar section because there was a little droid, this one over here, was clipping through the wall and just being a nuisance, so I saved and reloaded and moved away and came back. This is a bar. This cabin is weird in that you can't get into it except from the other side, and it's right where the building limit is. So I decided to turn the patio into a bar, and then what's inside is just inside. There's a bell that they can call people. That's all just wasted space there. She's got her own food. She's got food to sell. Bottles, cold drinks. I love the idea of people also collecting bobbleheads, so I have these replicas all over the place. So yeah, this is the bar. All right, I'm gonna have a seat, and I think as promised, I did say that I wanted to, I think I did. I've recorded the audio so many times I forgot what I've said and what I haven't. I want to show you the defenses. So I'm going to pop over and spawn some zombies. Alright, spawning them. I don't know where they're going to show up, but they'll be close. Somewhere in here. I may not need to have to fire a shot. And, oh, they're all in the diner. So yeah, the blue lasers, they're coming from settlers. They all have Institute weapons. The Institute not only is providing power, but also some weaponry for the settlers. That was getting a little too close to me. Yeah. Okay, I don't know who has the Molotovs, but I should probably ban Molotovs inside the settlement. So let's see. Yep, there was definitely some inside here as well. So there you go. So yeah, as you can see, anything gets in, they're not going to last long. The turrets are going to definitely take them out. And the turrets are placed in between buildings so that no matter where they get to, they're going to be getting fired from multiple angles. So yeah, very well defended. Let's head back over, have a seat, and talk about what's next. Right, so now that I have, the technology of the Institute, the weaponry of the Brotherhood of Steel, and of course charge of the Minutemen, I'm just going to keep building more and more settlements. The next Minutemen settlement is Abernathy Farm. I've made significant progress on that build as far as the structures. I'm building a skyscraper, an apartment building, if you will. It has some industrial elements, which I don't want to spoil, but there's a bit of a factory built onto it. And then I think I'm going to build, I don't know if anybody has seen that YouTube video of Keanu Reeves training for John Wick, going through like a shooting range. I want to build one of those, so like a training ground for Minutemen to hone their gun skills in kind of like a urban environment. So that's gonna be really fun to build. I've scrapped almost everything I built in Hangman's Alley, and I'm redoing it now that I'm building less scrappy. Getting everything to fit is proving a challenge. I have a bar there though that is staying. I'm not changing the bar. Hangman's Hangout. It looks like a place I'd want to hang out. The castle is lower on my list of priorities. Sanctuary is lower on my list of priorities. From here, I'm just going to work on those couple of ones and see what else the Minutemen send me to. So thank you so much for hanging out, for checking this out. Be safe out there, all right?
Cool.